This is Autoline Daily reporting on the global automotive industry. It's February 13th of 2019. I'm Sean McElroy, and now the news. And big news today involving General Motors, Amazon, and Rivian. Reports say that GM and Amazon could invest $1 to $2 billion in Rivian. While GM and Rivian would not confirm the story, GM did put out a statement saying it admires Rivian, while Rivian put out a statement saying it respects GM. And that tells us something big is brewing. An official announcement could come out later this month. And here's our Autoline insight. A move like this could put GM ahead of Tesla and Ford in the electric pickup race. Amazon might be interested in getting electric delivery trucks, which would instantly give Rivian a good base of sales. But there would also be consumer interest, especially from hunters and outdoorsmen who would love to pull right up to their campsite or blind without making any noise. A source knowledgeable with the program tells Autoline Daily that Rivian and GM want to do a swap meet where Rivian can reach right into GM's parts bin and GM gets access to Rivian's EV technology. Here's another thought. Sounds like GM is going to take a big stake in Rivian. Would it be satisfied in just doing that? Or, if everything goes well, would it want to buy Rivian outright? A company by the name of Quality Control Systems is challenging a 2017 report from NHTSA that Tesla's crash rate went down by about 40% after Autopilot's auto steer feature was introduced. It obtained the data used by NHTSA through the Freedom of Information Act and says it actually suggests that the crash rate went up after the technology was introduced. But the problem is, Quality Control Systems only looked at 5,700 of a possible 43,780 vehicles equipped with Autopilot, discarding vehicles for various reasons. The website Electric looked into Quality Control Systems, and as far as it can tell, it's run by a single person who's a public health professional that investigates injury in humans and tries to find ways to prevent and treat those injuries. Tesla responded and says it stands by NHTSA's claim, and its data continues to show that owners are less likely to get in an accident with Autopilot than without it. Speaking of electrics, here's our first look at the prototype of Honda's urban EV that will debut in Geneva. The automaker says a mass production version of this car will be on sale later this year. And that's not the only EV Honda will have in Geneva. It teamed with Instituto Europeo de Design to create the Tomo concept, a small electric ute designed by 13 students. They were asked to come up with the ideal means of transportation for young people in the next 6 years. Geneva kicks off on March 7th. Say, could lane-keeping technology save your relationship? Ford is showing off the lane-keeping bed that uses pressure sensors to detect when someone has veered from their side of the bed. A conveyor belt system will then return them back to their half of the bed. It kind of reminds me of the Here It Goes Again music video by OK Go or Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity. And hey, if you'd like to see more of what Autoline is doing, follow us on social media. Look for the Autoline Network on Instagram and Facebook or at Autoline on Twitter.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems, advanced materials that deliver better results. And by ExxonMobil.
INRIX, a company that analyzes traffic data, says the average American spends around 97 hours a year in traffic jams, which costs $87 billion, or about $1,350 per driver, in wasted, unproductive time. It also ranked the top 60 congested areas in the U.S., and Boston is the worst. But it's not nearly as bad as other cities around the world. Factoring in population, Moscow ranks number 1 at 210 hours lost due to congestion. Boston is number 7 on the global list, the only city in the U.S. that ranked in the top 10. Last week, Nissan announced it would scrap plans to build its new X-Trail SUV in Britain due to the uncertainty over Brexit. Now, Ford told British Prime Minister Theresa May that it's preparing to move production out of the country. The company has 2 engine plants in Britain and employs 13,000 people. Ford, which is the top-selling automaker in the country, says leaving the European Union will cost it up to $1 billion. But if Ford pulled out of Britain, that would be devastating. The Ford brand has dominated the English market since the 1960s. And don't forget to join us for Autoline After Hours tomorrow afternoon. Joining John and Gary for that show is John Plonka, the chief engineer of the all-new Cadillac XT6. So this is your chance to have any questions you have about the SUV answered. You can send them our way to viewermail at autoline.tv or hit us up on social media. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.